And it gives me great pleasure and privilege to introduce Alex Krafft. Alex is a partnership associate at Narrative 4 and lives just outside the Twin Cities in Lakeville. She earned her BA in Communications and Nonprofit Management from DePaul University. Before joining Narrative 4, Alex spent 9 years with the Pitch In mentoring program in Chicago. Through her work in social emotional learning, she witnessed the impact of empathetic relationships firsthand and developed a program to support middle school students. At Narrative 4, Alex partners with colleges, universities, and community organizations to support their use of storytelling and empathy-building resources. As we all know, storytelling has become a very important approach in Rotary. Outside of work, she enjoys exploring the joys of parenthood and gardening. Please help me welcome Alex to the stage.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Hi, everybody. Afternoon. I see the mics over there, too, yeah. All right, so I can move around a little bit. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Krafft. I'm so excited to be here today to talk about building connection and belonging through story. Thank you to Glenn and to the greater Rotary community for having me. Really, really grateful. This is an exciting weekend for you all, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. So, let's get into it. Who is Narrative 4? We are a global storytelling organization that's all about helping young people harness the power of story, young people and adults too, we work with both, to really drive community to drive change in their community. We do this with amazing partners in K through 12 schools, colleges, universities, community organizations, and also with some corporations. We like to say a story is the shortest distance between two people. Why? Because it's memorable, right? If I tell you a story, you're much more likely to remember it tomorrow and beyond that, and then if I show you a spreadsheet, right, and some numbers. Because I'm sharing something that's personal. It's a personal connection that you can make with me. I'm being open and vulnerable with you, right? So these are some colorful blurbs that really represent what we think, the desire for people to feel seen and heard. People want this. I was just talking about this at my table. We're all in our silos and our bubbles on our screens, but we're seeing the demand that people want to feel connected to others and to share their stories. We work with over 2,000 partners globally since 2014. We're a global organization, which is really incredible to hear the different stories from different parts of the world, right? We have over 200,000 participants. We're training people to lead this storytelling work in their own communities, right? Whether that's a school or a nonprofit. We're in 4 continents, over 35 countries, right? It's pretty exciting to see the growth, and again, we just think that names the desire for this work. So I keep talking about the storytelling thing. What is it? The story exchange. This is really at the heart of what we do. And when you break it down, it's really quite simple. You tell my story, I tell yours, in the first person, face to face. This is where kind of a unique perspective taking comes into play. And for a moment, you're able to walk in somebody else's shoes and think about their experience, right? You can get closer to what they shared and their feelings behind it, their why, right? When we experience the story exchange. So what better way than to hear from the young people doing this work, to hear about their experience with a short video where you can see, again, from all over the globe, some people talking about their experience with the story exchange.
I was able to share anything, no matter if I was happy or sad or anything.
Nowadays, things are so polarized that it's hard to make a genuine connection with people. And what we need right now more than ever is connection.
Our lives are so different and just so diverse.
Yeah, similarities, there's a lot more than I expected.
Having a guaranteed safe space to put out a genuine story from the bottom of your heart I think that it's not something a lot of people get to do.
They've really kind of embraced getting to know each other and really making an effort to make and develop connections.
I didn't think I'd get along as well as I did with the Belfast girls. I thought there was going to be war.
It's changed how I look at people that's like from Ireland.
I've never really given much thought to the people around me, because I've always felt like I'm the main character and everyone around is like NPCs. But through this I've realized everyone has their own problems. Everyone has problems that I don't even know about.
I just really learned that there's so much you don't know about other people.
I enjoyed listening to other people's stories and being able to empathize with them.
I'd like to thank Narrative 4 for giving us all this opportunity to speak out about what we've been holding inside of ourselves for so long.
Sometimes you're not going to be able to hear every single person's story, but you have to be ready to empathize, and that way we can become great people in our community and great leaders of tomorrow.
Come on, that last smiling face, that's a hard one to compete with. Thank you. All right, so we've talked a little bit about what the story exchange is, the storytelling thing that Narrative 4 does, and now I'd like to play a little bit of a quick game to get some more voices in the room, a little word association to share Narrative 4's 4 essential principles, okay? So don't be shy, use your voice. I know you all can project, and you do this work daily in different capacities. What is the first word you hear? What first word comes to mind when you hear listening? Just shout it out. Intentional, love it. Keep attention. Keep going. Respect, yeah. Active listening, 2 of those. Hard, yes. Quiet, you're quiet maybe, Anybody else? Those are great, I love hard. That's a good one that we'll maybe come back to. How about imagination? First thing that comes to mind. Ideas. Creativity. Curiosity. Thinking. Freedom. Ooh, that's a good one. Improvement. Dreaming. You guys are on a roll. How about curiosity? Someone already said that for imagination. First thing that comes to mind when you hear curiosity. It's a memorable phrase for a reason. Wonder, yeah. Questioning, yep. Open-minded, asking, Yes, learning. Research, So well said. Risk-taking, humility. We are going deep. These are really good. Okay, and lastly, what about positive action? This is like, I was gonna say, this is like the definition of Rotary right here. Are we talking about Rotary? Positive action? Who else? Success, work. Impact. Ooh, 3 people almost at once said impact. Progress, making a difference. Accomplishment, yeah. Reward. Celebrate. Impact again, yeah. Yep, goals and accomplishing goals. That's great. Thank you all for playing a quick game of word association. A lot of what was said is already embedded within our definitions, right? listening, seeking to understand. This is one of my favorite things about what we do with the story exchange methodology that I talked a little bit about, is we like to say you're seeking to understand, not to respond. Okay? I think for all people, but especially adults, this is a rare opportunity. It's kind of like a gift where you get to just be with somebody just to listen. That's your only goal, okay? Just to understand somebody, to take it in, to feel heard, and to hear them in return. So practicing that deep listening, which can be hard. Imagination, considering possibilities beyond what you already know, right? We can imagine how to problem solve. We can imagine a new innovation, right? I think about during COVID, all the innovation we saw, whether it was in the medical field or on the internet. People were bored at home and they were creating videos and they were trying to find a way to connect when we're all stuck at home, right? There was a lot of creation happening and using our imagination. Curiosity, learning from somebody else's knowledge and experience, right? Asking questions, somebody said that. Accepting we don't have all the answers and being curious about what somebody else might be able to share from their knowledge and their worldview. And then hopefully all of these things weave together to positive action, right? Really acknowledging and showing your words matter. I see you, I hear you, I'm listening to you, but then what? How can I turn what we define compassion as is empathy into action? Then what can we do? Is it civic engagement? Is it Rotary? Are we trying to solve a problem after we have these great feelings of connection and listening to one another? What can we do after that step? Okay, so through our work, we really try to weave all of these things together. We're skill building, whether it was with young people, whether it's with adults. And I'd like us to spend some time on something that might be defined as hard, that requires practice, which is listening. So I'm gonna ask you all to do a little exercise in just a minute. But before that, I thought it would be interesting to share some listening data with you. So you'll see, as a society, we could all use some practice on this, right? People are distracted, forgetful, or preoccupied 75% of the time when listening. That's a lot. We are in the age of distraction, right? We have a lot going on around us. We have screens in front of us. We have a 24/7 cycle of news, and sometimes it can feel exhausting. So of course, we're distracted. I would expect this number to be high. You probably do too. Immediately after listening to someone talk, we usually recall only about half of what we heard. Oof. And then we only remember 20%. I am guilty here. I feel like my own personal memory, even of my own memories and stories, is awful. So maybe you can relate to that one too. And lastly, in the green bubble, we have a very dramatic reveal here with the question mark. Most adults spend blank seconds at a time actively listening. I would love to play auctioneer here for a moment. We've already warmed up our vocal cords. Can we get some guesses in the room? I see 3. I see 5. Come on, guys. You can yell. You don't have to do the hand thing. 15. 10. 2. Wouldn't that be sad? 4. I hear 4. 30. Okay, generous, maybe. Okay, we're going to do a drum roll. Da-da-da. 17 seconds. I know, that's why we're gonna practice it, don't worry. When I present this slide to educators, their faces go very sad. Because this is the adult statistic, and for young people, it's much worse. Think about being born with a device in your hand. They are very, very distracted and find it hard to focus. So this is just the adult stat. So that is why Narrative 4 really takes time to carve out space and energy to practice this skill, because we think it's worthy. It's a worthy pursuit. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to ask you to find, hopefully, someone at your table that you don't know well and pair up to do a listening activity. You're each going to take 1 minute to answer this question. What's a topic you love talking about that you wish someone would listen to you speak about? Okay, something you care about. Maybe you don't get to go there very often and share it with somebody. And when you're the speaker, answer this question. You have 1 minute. I'll remind you about your time. As you're listening to your partner speak, just take it all in. Try to get rid of those distractions in your to-do lists in your brain that always creep in, right? And just practice deeply listening. We're not going to have a conversation or dialogue for this minute. You're just going to listen. Take it in. And then I will remind you when it's time to switch. So nice to see the room light up with laughter. I'm seeing smiling. I'm seeing nodding. We're talking about things we care about. That's kind of cool. All right. Don't worry. There's another talking part right after this. All right. I know. I have a train whistle. Don't make me take it out. It's my 5-year-old son's. I brought a train whistle for real. Okay, so that's okay. I know that we're excited. I like it. I can feel the energy. So now we're going to move into part 2, which is similar but slightly different, okay? With your same group, sorry if you moved back, you're going to be with the same group and you're all going to take turns answering this prompt. What sparked your connection to this topic? Why is it meaningful to you? But the difference here is after you answer the prompt, your partner or partners, because I know we had some groups of 3, are going to reflect back to you. You're going to say, I hear someone who values blank. Okay, so now we're really testing your listening, and you get to think about their first answer. What topic are they passionate about and why for this, right? You're going to reflect back. So it might sound like, I hear someone who values relationships and you're really prioritizing your family or your friends right now. Or I hear someone who values the earth and you're making a concerted effort for that by doing conservation. Whatever it might be, okay? Whatever you hear that comes up for you as your partner is sharing, you're going to reflect it back to them. I hear someone who values blank. And then we'll switch. So you have a little bit more than a minute because your partner is going to be reflecting back to you. Make sense? Thank you so much for participating. All right. So I'd love to talk about this. Oh, I wish I could whistle like that. There we go. Oh, she's got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know, it's hard to cut people off. Everyone's clearly having a good time. Thank you. Thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. So I'd love to just talk about this. What was this like? What did you notice about your own listening? Was this weird? I saw some perplexed faces. I saw some people ready to dive into their topic. What was this like? What did this make us think about for listening? Anyone want to yell out and I can try to repeat it or come to you? Connections. I see a hand in the back. I warned you to concentrate, and so you did. Okay. Yeah. You were really thinking about your own listening. You were kind of in your own head about listening. Yeah? Remembering details. It was fun. Thank you. Love it. Did that make it easier, harder? It being concise, did that make it easier, harder? What do you think about that? Yeah. Yeah, you knew, okay, I just have a minute. Can I just focus for 1 minute? I can do it. Anybody else? Yeah. Oh, sorry. In the front. Humility. Yeah. Okay, that's a couple of comments on that. Yeah, we're really focused and thinking about this. Yeah. Oh, so you had some selfish motives. Yeah, how can I get all that I need to know for this trip? I love it. Yeah. Yeah, you felt really present with it. Isn't that so true? If you think about that, how much time you make to just ask somebody like a simple question, what's something you care about? Can you tell me about it, Glenn? Sorry to Glenn's partner. He was really struggling. But thank you for your honesty. I mean, I think that's a real thing to admit, right? This can be hard. We're all guilty of it. You're thinking about your response, right? You're thinking about, what do I want to say? Or, oh, I can connect to this instead of actually listening. I like that you're talking about the reflect back piece. Yeah. Yeah, you're in your own head about that too, right? Like, ooh, is this what they think? Am I projecting something? Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Thank you. That's great. I've also heard people comment on the reflect back piece that this is really affirming, right? Like, okay, I see someone nodding and clearly listening to me, but when I hear them reflect back to me, like, that's really validating. That feels good to hear that, right? Cool. Any thoughts about thinking about this interaction, right? It was fun, we were purposeful, it was concise. How do we think we can carry forward this feeling of connection and curiosity? We have a great opportunity this whole weekend at the conference, right? What are some thoughts you have about that? How can we think about creating quick moments of connection that are simple, right? Pretty easy, that was fast, to carry these feelings forward. Any thoughts or ideas on that? Sorry? Try it at home. Yeah, try it with people in your life. See some nodding at particular individuals at the table. Got it? Any other thoughts? Quick bursts of connection. How can we get more of this in our lives? Get off of our screens and connect with people. I mean, you guys are Rotarians, so maybe you already are masters at this anyway, right? This is a beautiful community that you've created. Yeah. Even a follow-up like that. Beautiful. You're going to see an article or you're going to see something that reminds you of this conversation. Follow up. Hey, I thought of you. I heard about this thing that I learned you cared about. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Less small talk. How's the weather? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Narrative 4, our team, I think, they're genius at coming up with like the best quick meeting starter conversations. Like, what's your favorite snack? What's something that sparks joy? Just bringing quick fun before you have to get to business, like really, changes the mood. It's nice. That's a good point, though. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we wrap on our listening practice? Ooh, yeah. Holding eye contact. Yeah. Uh-huh. Really showing that you're listening, or that's maybe helped you focus, too. Yeah. Uh-huh. In the back. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good application. Absolutely. Awesome. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So it felt more intimate with just the two pairing. Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for the reflection together. That was lovely. A lot of great insights. I appreciate it, you sharing. So I wanted to share 2 examples from Narrative 4. Obviously, there's many, but I selected these 2 because I thought they had good application to Rotary. The first is Rochester Alternative Learning Center. They have a high school and a middle school. You're probably familiar. And this was a partnership that actually came to us through Patricia McLeese. Shout out to Patricia. She's not here right now. But she has been such a wonderful connector for Narrative 4 in Minnesota. And so she connected us to them. If you're not familiar, a school that is really struggling with mental health. Students are really going through it. And so as a result, teachers are too. Right? It's a really demanding job, and they're doing incredible things. So we went there, we did a story exchange for majority of their teachers, and afterwards one of the teachers said, this felt like therapy. And I think that's true. Sometimes when you connect, you listen, you feel heard, it can feel really therapeutic and kind of cathartic, right? Although we're not trained therapists, that's not what we do. But I just thought it was a nice piece of feedback, and we're really excited to continue our journey with them and think about how can we involve students. So right now they're kind of, back in the office thinking about maybe we want to train students to lead this work, for them to lead their peers in story exchange work. So we're really excited. This was a beautiful connection point that we had just a couple of weeks ago with somebody local, so I wanted to share that with you. And then the second example is called Beyond the Bell. This is an after-school mentoring program that's in Illinois, a very rural suburb there called Clay County. It's one of the only after-school programs that exists there, really underserved community, and it's all ages, young people, high school ages, all together weekly, and they do story exchanges on the regular. So this is a really familiar tool to them where they're constantly learning from each other, different experiences, different ages. And they actually just won an award for their intergenerational work, which is something we're seeing a lot of desire for. Partners are saying, how can we connect different age groups, right? This is really important to do this knowledge sharing through stories. And so they had to adopt a grandparent program where they paired their students in their program with local seniors. They connected on a regular basis to do games. I think they're doing bingo in the photo. They did story exchanges and interviews. And as you can imagine, it was a really joyful experience for both parties. So we're really excited to be affiliated with such a strong partner doing great work. So those are just two examples I wanted to highlight. And as we close out our time today, I really, of course, have Rotary on the mind and your mantra of service above self, right? And I think it goes beyond the work that we're doing and what we give, but how we show up for this work, right? And when we're able to listen more deeply, I think that can lead us to serve and do even more responsive work with the community members that we are with, right? We can eliminate assumption and have a better, deeper understanding with that curiosity and that listening that we talked about, right? And I think that can make for really impactful service, right? We're connecting, we're linking each other, and we're immersing ourselves in these communities. So I just want to thank you all for the work that you do. I feel honored to be here today in your company. And continuing the mantra of service above self. I think that we're really connected in this way, Narrative 4 and the Rotary. And so I just wanted to bring it all home. Thank you. If you want to learn more about Narrative 4, if any of this made you curious, feel free to check out our website. My email is super easy to remember, just alex@narrative4.com. And thank you again for your time and for being a great audience.